Hi, it's me, Serena, Sailor Moon here. Now, today, some folks out there are gonna ask, would ask this thing, but not even asking this thing. All right, so how does this even go? Like, I was gonna make a film, but then I don't really know. All right, so I did a lot of thinking, and this is what I came up with. Now, a lot of folks out there are going to say what they're going to say. All right. So, there's always going to be this fight over the Sailor Starlights. Were they men? Were they women? Were they you can only be one or the other. And my belief is that if you go by the drawing film or the live drawings, they were men. All three of them were, if you go by that. Now, this is where it kind of gets hard. If you go by Sailor Star fan dub, they're given the names of Dustin, Jordan, and Julian, meaning that there were two men and one woman, but that's just how the Sailor Star fan dubs handled it. Now, how Toei truly handled it was they were men. I am not making it up, that's what they were. But when they shifted, they became women, or at least women in body, in body chunks, I guess. Now, this may have led to Naoko Takiguchi and Toei having ending their working deal, their mateship that goes way back to at least 1992. And this may have also explained the grounds to why DiC or Cloverway or I don't know, let's go out there and say Funimation or whatever didn't get the rights to do Sailor Moon, Sailor Stars back in the day. Now, a lot of folks are going to say, oh, well, Toei didn't follow the oversight. Yeah, the oversight that said only women could be sailor fighters or whatever, or sea failure, or sea feeler, like a sea failing fighter. And everyone has their own take of what they think that means. But it is true. If you go look at the Viz one, and technically the Viz one is the Toei one with the speech work on it, with the English speech work on it, you know that Dustin and Jordan are men. Hell, even Julian's also a man too. So yeah, there are three men who, when they shapeshift, they become women. Now, that would have been that would have been one thing to deal with. Now, mind see how DiC and Cloverway or Funimation or whoever gotten the rights back in the day to work with it, or 4Kids. Let's just say that it would have been DiC or Cloverway or 4Kids. Now, mind see how that would have been harder for them to work around that. You know? Because now you're already dealing with something that now you could work around Zoisite and Quinfight. You can work, well, Fisheye was always a woman, so there was no need to work around her. But as far as working around with, say, Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune, yeah, you could work around that a bit, and you did. Now, the Sailor Starlights put a new hang-up, a new bind that now you have no way to work around. Because now, how do you go by saying, okay, they're men, because that's what they are, but when they shapeshift, they're women, or at least they got women body chunks on them? Okay, because now they're women now. So, how do you handle that? So you can see why DiC and Cloverway may have just said, we can't do anything with this. Now, I know that a lot of folks would have said, oh, well, they could have just done it and took in the heat. Yeah, like so many folks now. Back then, doing something like that and taking the heat, you didn't want to get the heat on you. You didn't want to get folks bitching at you that you were doing or saying something that some folks thought was wrong on the Farsi or back then. Now, a lot of folks, it's not like that now. There's more understanding. There's more folks that are more trusting of it. But back then, if you did shit like that, a lot of folks would say that was bad. They would get the federal, they get the FCC on you, the FTC on you. It was a mess. You didn't want to get any heat and have it taken on you, because then, yeah, you could have that thrown on you. So, but that's not even the grounds of why Deke and Cloverway would have not even touched it. Why even 4Kids would have not even touched it back then. Now, yes, the Sailor Starlights are men. I hate to break this up to you, but they are the first men to be sailor fighters in Sailor Moon. So, as far as you saying that oversight was broken, it was broken by Toei themselves. Now, a lot of folks are going to say, didn't Naoko Takiguchi get mad at them for doing that? What? For making them be men and then shape-shift into women? No. That wasn't even half of it. The truth is, the Sailor Starlights were men who shape-shifted into women. I am not making that one up. That's the truth. What really ended Toei and Naoko Takiguchi's working mateship at that time was that how it was handled. She wanted Sailor Starlights to be not the main selfhoods, but she wanted them to be minor or less selfhoods. Well, you gotta keep in mind, at the time there was a funny book, and at the time there was a drawing book, and then there was a drawing film, and both of them took freedoms between each other, but there was no way neither of them could actually be exactly like each other, unless you look at Sailor Moon Crystal or Sailor Moon Hearst. Now that was completely taken from it. But back then, the first one that came out wasn't anything like that. So, yeah, I'm not making that up. So, this film would actually say, are the Sailor Starlights, are they men or women? I know that this may have never been covered by anyone in the Sailor Moon fellowship before. Maybe it has, maybe it has not. But I believe that it's up to you. But the truth is, a lot of folks will see it many ways. Some folks will believe that they're females, but other folks will say they're men. Well, the truth is, they actually were men who actually shape-shifted into women when they became sailor fighters or whatever, sea-failing fighters or whatever you want to call them. That's the truth. You know, everyone's going to say, oh, well, you know, they keep calling, Dustin Sale. Well, that was his given name. I mean, that was his Lord name. That was his last name. That wasn't his first name. His first name was Guyan, whatever it was. But for myself, I'm going to go with the borrowed name, learned name Dustin from Sailor Star Fandub gave him, because that's a more one I can think about, one that I can always think about to say. Because if you want me to, since if I go by the Japanese borrowed name, learned name, the Japanese borrowed name, then most likely I'm going to fuck it up. I'm not going to think it all the time. So he's Dustin. And the other one's Jordan, and the other one's Jillian. So technically, they all were men who became women when they shapeshifted. So it is what it is. So you can't come on Sailor. So you can't go after Ernest, Sailor Earth, or Calvin Sailor Sun, because the Sailor Starlights did it first. The oversight was broken by Toei long before anyone like me ever broke it. I'm Sailor Moon Serena. Hope you like this film.